Hello, everyone. Welcome all the viewers of HairAcumen.com. I welcome you today in the company of a beautiful, amazing, absolutely phenomenal and fabulous lady whose name is Margriet Potgieter and who is coming to us all the way from South Africa. What she's doing is magical. This is something mysterious. This is something that we think we know what is it about, but if we actually go into depth and start learning about it, there are so many more things to it, and this is what we are going to explore today. Today we are going to talk about PR. What is public relationship? What is it about? Why it's important, and why it's good to have a PR specialist who, for example, like Margriet, because it's so much easier. And why it's easier, why it's good to have one. So hello, welcome, Margriet. Just wanted to, if you could introduce yourself a bit better than I did.
Thank you so much, Anna. You are incredible, and I feel so privileged to do this interview with you. And thank you for this incredible platform, first of all. I'm Margriet Potgieter. I'm the founder of Write and Shine PR and Media Coaching. And I'm in South Africa. It's extremely hot here today. I was trying to explain to Anna how warm it gets in Africa. But it's my absolute privilege to be here. I speak to you today with a 20-year background of PR and media. I'm a PR specialist, and also I studied MLP coaching, which is multi-level processing. So I combined the two in a product. So that's me in a nutshell. And I also want to answer what you mentioned, Hannah, in terms of public relations. PR for me has changed 100% since especially what's happened, in our world. PR, I think in the past, as I saw it, and a lot of people saw it, was smoke and mirror, and to try and do damage control, and to really, that was almost the stereotype for PR. But I truly believe, and that's why I'm so passionate and combined PR with MLP, that PR has changed in terms of more into the relations than the public. So you focus more on yourself, how you present yourself, your bio, all that stuff, your relations with yourself and with others, and then you take it public on the different platforms. So that for me in a nutshell is PR and how it's changed.
So why do we need a PR specialist? Why is it good to have an expert by your side?
I would say, social media has changed everything for everyone. So if I can say in a nutshell, you've got 7 seconds to grab people's attention. And there's a recipe for it. There's a way to truly write a powerful bio, a PR article. There's so many tools and skills that you can learn. So I would say the coaching for me, I'm extremely passionate about equipping people to truly stand out, but you do need a good foundation before you can truly do that. Obviously, I come in with what you already built, and then we elevate from there and where you want to go. And you can't push yourself too fast as well. You can't talk on TEDx if you haven't spoken on a podcast, for example. So it all depends on where my clients are and where they want to go to.
And what is important when you think about having a PR article? What is the PR article, and what is important to include in it?
I absolutely am so passionate about that. And Richard Branson says a PR article means more to a person than a front cover. Because that for me, marketing is selling yourself, but PR is someone selling you. And that's why I love PR so much, because it's in a different tone. It's a different person selling you, and that takes the pressure of hard selling almost. So a PR article for me is all based on your personal story to write why you do what you do, then how you do it, and then call people to action, to basically contact you because they are inspired and not because of hard selling.
And what do you use this PR article for?
this can be used, for any type of marketing. So say, for example, like for a magazine, you want to help the editor understand better what your story is. So this can be like a part of a portfolio, or you can use it on all platforms. The written word is so powerful, but it's not a long article. So it's short and sweet, but it's someone else telling your story from the angle of inspiration. So this is a powerful tool to have.
So you can also use that on social media.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you think about social media, you have Facebook and you have LinkedIn, and then you have Instagram, isn't it? So they are three completely different social platforms. And what people, the mistake they often do is just like they create one post and they post it everywhere, for example. And that means it is possible to do it if you understand what the differences are and how your audience, what the expectations of the audience is.
Yes.
But if you are brand new to if it is your first company, if it is your first brand, if you're new to that, quite often what you're doing, you create something basic and you put it on over those three platforms. I think PR person would also be a good person to actually give advice what to put where, isn't it?
Absolutely. I create content and I help my clients as well. You need three pillars for your content. So you need inspiration, you need education, and you need selling, because you need sales as well. So I come in with that angle, because for me, you can talk on all platforms, but you need to resonate with the right people with the right approach. So I vary my approach, but you also build around where the client is and basically what they're selling and who they are. But absolutely, Anna, you have to have a different message. The same thing, but you can write it in different ways on the different platforms.
From your experience, when you were working with clients on different levels with their business and with different needs, what would you say the biggest mistakes were that they were doing and they came to you and you solved those problems?
That's a very good question. I would say, and it's challenging because I don't see them as mistakes. I see it as lessons. But you can speak in front of millions, but you can have the wrong audience. So it's basically to align my clients. I say we are all rock stars. So with your song, to talk to the right people, I prefer talking to 5 people who resonate with what I'm selling and what I'm serving them with, than instead of a million, and you like that. And that's where the relationship comes in again. So I would say that's the lessons learned, is you have to have the correct, and it's where the branding and things comes in. Your image, your PR image comes in to present yourself authentic to the right people as well.
What about consistency? Do you think that some people just lack consistency and they are like, for example, if we have those 3 social medias, they went the other way. Instead of posting one article, for example, one post everywhere with the same images and the same, let's just call the same message.
Yes.
So instead of doing that, they went completely opposite and they created 3 completely different things, and then people don't know that this is the same person, isn't it?
Yes. No, absolutely. I always say, if you confuse, you lose. You have to be consistent, and like, I already feel like a rock star because I sing the same thing over and over again, but there's no confusion, at the end of the day. So that's a very good question, because that people I think they underestimate the power of being consistent and saying, you never know who's listening, you never know. But if you change your tune and you change your message, then people don't know what you're saying and they don't know what you're selling, actually, at the end of the day.
what would you advise to people who are just starting, and with Facebook being very difficult at the moment and just blocking people and limiting the attendance, the reach, the likes and everything, so the visibility in general, because obviously they want you to pay for adverts. So what would you recommend for people who are just posting like crazy every single day, and they don't get likes, they don't get comments, and it's what should they do? What should they do? What would be your advice?
My advice is definitely to relax in terms of that, because it's really not something anyone can. We don't have an influence on our Facebook or social media. So I think that would be my first piece of advice, is to relax and take a breath in terms of, the platform that we're using, Facebook, and how it is. It's like, I can definitely see it's totally changed in a few months as well. But what I do, and that's what I'm doing, I'm focusing only on certain groups to network. And once again, I come back to the relations. So I'm using this time, instead of posting, to connect and to do coffee chats with people. So some people is not clients, and that's fine. At least, you've got that relationship. The people will know you're the go-to person. So post once a day if you have to. And for the rest of the time, take a step back and truly see this as an opportunity to connect with other people, and don't see the likes, as black and white. I'm really changed my perspective in the online world. The like or the heart, it's people behind that. So I've really softened my approach towards this, and it absolutely is about quality and not quantity. So I'd rather have 5 people in my group who supports and encourages than thousands strangers at the end of the day.
I think that's what I liked about you the most, was this relaxed attitude, really, this friendliness and compassion and empathy that comes from you. I never felt under any kind of pressure from you, and which I really, really enjoyed. Because as I say to many people, for example, I don't have a fitness instructor or a PA, mainly because the minute they would tell me just to do something, order me to do something, I would prefer to punch them in the face than obey the order, really. And I'm not a violent person straight away. I'm very stubborn. So at this point, when I'm getting someone telling me or pressuring me into getting out of my comfort zone, just because they are in some kind of rush, or just because they think I'm ready, but when I'm not, I really don't appreciate that. What I found out from working with you is like, you are everything but that. So you are very patient, you take your time, you are very understanding, and you listen to people. And I think this is your biggest strength in the business, because you listen to what they are saying, and you don't treat it as silly problems, or so you don't necessarily offer the solution, because you prefer to treat them as adults, and you just guide them into the solution so they can find themselves the solution, and you support that. So I like that, because working with you is like being on a journey with a partner, not someone who is taking you by the hair and dragging you all the way. Exactly. It's like, come on, you can do it.
That's coaching.
I don't like that.
It's coaching. You need to stand alongside someone to pull out the best out of them. And you can't, and for me, manipulation is a terrible thing. So I don't manipulate. And I think that's why I don't I've no agenda. When I talk to you, it's great to spend time. If you need my services, I'm here, and I'll give you my everything. But for me, the cherry on the top is always the beautiful friendships and connections at the end of the day. So that's what I say. The online world, and I think maybe it is perspective to not focus on the likes, but really focus on the people behind the likes, and get to them and their hearts and what they need and how you can serve them. I think that's definitely my approach in business.
I completely agree with you. And I would say that since I met you, and I told you that already, I had a lot of first times. Yeah, so I've done my first live.
Love it.
I've done my first interview with you, and I've done my first article. Yes, promotion, selling, many things I've
Love it.
done with you as the first time. And for example, with those interviews, and I have to do it with other people, and I was never afraid of speaking in public or presenting myself or talking about myself, but I never done it with as an interview, when you
Yes.
actually have to shut up and listen and ask questions and be patient with people and actually be really interested in what they are saying, to ask good questions, really.
Yep.
So the audience will find useful. And because working with you, it was like you taught me that those relationships and connections, it was awesome. And it's so easy now, because as exactly as you said, each of my customers, they are my friends.
Yep. And that's it should be, it's a trust
And it's easy.
relationship. It's trust. So you won't
Yeah.
work with someone that you don't trust. You know, so that's my absolute big thing is building trust, building a good reputation, but with who you are, not by what you're selling even. People need to
Yeah.
trust you.
Definitely. And when they trust you, then they are more willing to work with you.
Exactly.
So there is a less possibility of not completing the task, or
Yep.
there is bigger possibility of success, because if people are feeling relaxed and being friends and supporting each other, it's so much easier. And I always believed in the saying that it's not about the destination, it's all about the journey.
Absolutely.
So every single day when you are achieving something, and when you're going through something, and when you are succeeding, every single day should be a celebration, really.
Yep.
And enjoyment. And working with you, that's what exactly it is.
I appreciate
You
you.
celebrated with me so many things every single time, and you know how many times we fell down and all that. So this is all about the relationship, and this
Absolutely.
is what business relationships should be. They should be so closed.
Yep.
Closed,
and that's
because
PR. That's relationship. So it's first the relationship, and then we take it public, because you and I, we've got our conversations behind the scenes, and then we take it public. So this is, for me, that this is the new way of PR. Exactly this.
So if someone would like to contact you and work with you and take the business to another level, upscale, expand, yes, and grow and go public, make the visibility the big thing, or the big part of the marketing, how can they contact you?
They are welcome to connect with me on Facebook. I'm Margriet Potgieter, and then I've got a wonderful online community of women. And it's Write and Shine through your PR and media coaching presence. So they're so welcome to connect with me on either platforms. And I've got beautiful people like Anna in there who's really helping to build this beautiful online space. And it's just, I believe you have to shine from the inside out to truly, you know, serve people with purpose and from the heart. And I think then all stress is off you. To be honest, like you do it with so much passion. You wake up in the mornings looking forward to do what you do.
And the best part is that it is possible. It is possible to run a business without being like feeling out of your depth.
100%.
Feeling stressed.
If I could say like that, when you tap, and that's what I also lead my clients, is to tap into their zone of genius. When you tap into your zone of genius, everything flows from there, and you stay in your lane. You know, like that, the rock star, Pink, you know, she sings and we love her, but she's tapped into a zone of genius. She evolves and she changes, but Pink is Pink, you know, since forever. So we
brilliant.
all have to be like Pink.
With a rocket to the moon, isn't it? I remember when we met. This is just for really just to end this conversation, because otherwise we are going to talk for 5 hours. And
we will.
Like, oh, come on, women, we have dinner to make. Come on. So just to finish the conversation, and I'm absolutely loving every single minute of it, and I feel very thankful and grateful for your time and your expertise and sharing with us what you do and how you can support ladies of this platform. I wanted to just remind both of us how when we met, how we were so astonished, how we love big things. It needs to be global. If it's not global, we are not taking it. So we were never scared of the scale. We were never scared of that. We were thriving. And when you get to that point, it's so much better to share it with someone.
Absolutely.
It's so much better.
Absolutely. And the thing, because like being a single mother and, you know, like I feel like thinking the brain sometimes, I want to take over the world and I need someone that says, go, 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 go.
Let's do it. Yeah, it doesn't feel big. No, you can do it. It's fine. It's fun. And when you are actually surrounded by people who are on the same level, who think that nothing is too scary, nothing is too fast, nothing is too big. When you think that, when you have this mindset, that mental attitude, really, and you are surrounded by people who are like that, then really nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is.
When you are surrounded by people who are just like very pessimistic, very negative, and they think really small, and they are scared about every possible outcome, any outcome, then it's so difficult to be you when you have those visions, because you just feel like you're either stuck or you're being dragged down. But when you are surrounded by people who are thinking the same as you are thriving. You are in that rocket going to that moon. You are the pink or whatever.
You are, but that's what I say. You need a coach. Coaches need coaches. You always need that person or that cheerleader or that, you know, someone that would just say, you know, if you say, should I? And like,
why are you asking? Just go for it. Yeah. Is that a question?
Nike, just do it.
Possibility.
The question is always, how would you feel if you don't do it? How would you feel? And if you know, like, that's always what I ask myself, doing scary big projects and stuff. How am I going to feel if I don't do it?
And let's just finish on that note, because that's a powerful question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And hopefully next week we are going to have another guest. I don't know who's that going to be yet. We'll see, as I'm taking the approach of Mahrit, which is relax and see what happens.
Love it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.